Have you ever heard of the saying, "Fortune favors the bold"? Well, few men in history embody this more than Seleucus, a man who rose from the ranks of Alexander the Great's army to forge one of the largest empires of the ancient world. His story is a roller coaster of ambition, betrayal, and incredible conquest. So grab your snacks, get comfortable, and let's dive into the epic life of Seleucus I, the founder of the Seleucid Empire. Our story begins not in a palace, but on the battlefields of Asia. Seleucus was a Macedonian nobleman, the son of a general, born around 358 BC. Like many ambitious young men of his time, he joined the army of Philip II of Macedon and later followed his charismatic son, Alexander, on his legendary campaign to conquer the Persian Empire. Seleucus wasn't just another soldier, he was a standout. He quickly distinguished himself through his courage and tactical skill. He commanded the elite infantry unit, the hypaspists, or shield-bearers, a testament to his prowess and Alexander's trust in him. Imagine marching thousands of miles, from Greece to India, fighting in some of the most decisive battles in history. From the Granicus to Gaugamela, Seleucus was there, right in the thick of it. His most famous moment during this period came in India. During a fierce battle against King Porus and his war elephants, Alexander's own horse, Bucephalus, was mortally wounded. In the ensuing chaos, it was Seleucus who fought his way to his king's side, helping him dismount and ensuring his safety. This act of loyalty cemented his place in Alexander's inner circle. He was even one of the generals married to a Persian noblewoman, Apama, at the Great Susa weddings, an event designed by Alexander to merge Macedonian and Persian cultures. Unlike many of his peers who later divorced their wives, Seleucus remained devoted to Apama, and she would become the mother of his heir. But then, in 323 BC, the unthinkable happened. Alexander the Great, at the height of his power, died suddenly in Babylon. He left no clear successor, famously saying his empire was to the strongest. What followed was pure chaos. His top generals, known as the Diadochi, or Successors, immediately began carving up the vast empire for themselves. This was the start of the Wars of the Diadochi, a brutal, 40-year free-for-all for power. Where did Seleucus fit into all this? Initially, he played it smart. He aligned himself with Perdiccas, the regent of the empire, and was given command of the elite companion cavalry. But Perdiccas' ambition was his undoing. When Perdiccas was assassinated by his own officers during a failed invasion of Egypt, Seleucus was right there. For his role in the mutiny, he was rewarded with a crucial prize at the partition of Triparadisus in 321 BC, the satrapy of Babylonia. Babylon was the jewel of the ancient world, wealthy, strategic, and culturally significant. Seleucus had his own power base, but in the world of the successors, holding on to power was harder than gaining it.
His new domain attracted the envy of Antigonus the One-Eyed, another of Alexander's powerful generals who aimed to reunite the entire empire under his own rule. In 316 BC, Antigonus marched on Babylon, forcing Seleucus to flee for his life. With just a handful of followers, he sought refuge with his rival-turned-ally, Ptolemy, the ruler of Egypt. For 4 years, Seleucus was a king without a kingdom, biding his time, serving under Ptolemy, and waiting for the perfect moment to strike back.
That moment came in 312 BC at the Battle of Gaza. Ptolemy and Seleucus faced off against Antigonus's son, Demetrius. They won a decisive victory. Seeing his chance, Seleucus, with only about 800 men, made an incredibly audacious move. He marched hundreds of miles back to Babylon. This was the ultimate gamble, but his reputation preceded him. The people of Babylon, who remembered his fair rule, welcomed him back as a liberator. This triumphant return in 312 BC is so significant that it marks year 1 of the Seleucid era, a new calendar used for centuries. Seleucus had reclaimed his destiny. Now, Antigonus wasn't going to let this slide. He sent armies to crush Seleucus, but the man who had fought alongside Alexander was now a master strategist in his own right. Using guerrilla tactics and his deep knowledge of the region, Seleucus not only defended Babylonia, but began to expand his territory eastward, conquering Persia, Media, and the vast lands stretching towards India. While Antigonus was distracted in the west, Seleucus was building an empire in the east. He even reached the borders of India, where a new power had risen, the Mauryan Empire, led by the great Chandragupta Maurya. Instead of a bloody war, the two brilliant rulers made a deal. In exchange for 500 war elephants, a superweapon of the ancient world, Seleucus ceded his easternmost territories. This was a masterstroke. He secured his eastern frontier and gained an elephant corps that would give him a massive advantage in his future battles against his rivals in the west. The final showdown was inevitable. In 301 BC, at the Battle of Ipsus in modern-day Turkey, the remaining Diadochi faced off against Antigonus. It was the largest battle of the era. And what turned the tide? Seleucus and his 500 war elephants. They shattered Antigonus's cavalry, leading to a complete victory. Antigonus was killed in the battle, and his dream of a united empire died with him. In the aftermath, Seleucus's realm grew massively, now including Syria and Anatolia. To govern his vast, multicultural empire, he founded dozens of new cities. The most important were Seleucia on the Tigris, his eastern capital, and Antioch on the Orontes in Syria, his western capital. These cities became major centers of Greek culture, trade, and learning, spreading Hellenistic civilization deep into Asia. He was a prolific builder, a visionary administrator. By now, Seleucus had outlived almost all of Alexander's other generals. He had earned his nickname, Nicator, which means the victor. But one old rival remained, Lysimachus, the ruler of Thrace and Asia Minor. The final war between the last of the original successors broke out in 281 BC. At the Battle of Corupedium, the two old generals, both in their 70s, met on the field. Seleucus was once again victorious, and Lysimachus was killed. With this victory, Seleucus controlled nearly all of Alexander's Asian empire. Only Ptolemy's Egypt remained outside his grasp. He was on the brink of reuniting the lion's share of the empire. He crossed into Europe, intending to claim Macedon, his ancestral homeland, a final poetic prize to cap his incredible career. But this is where his story takes a tragic, ironic twist. He was accompanied by Ptolemy Keraunos, the disgruntled, exiled son of the Egyptian Ptolemy. Seeing an opportunity for himself, Keraunos, a man whom Seleucus had given shelter, treacherously assassinated the old king. Seleucus the victor, who had survived countless battles and decades of war, was struck down not by an enemy in battle, but by a supposed friend. And so, in 281 BC, the life of one of history's greatest empire builders came to an abrupt end. But his legacy was secure. The Seleucid Empire he founded would last for over 2 centuries, a vibrant, powerful state that served as a bridge between the Greek and Eastern worlds. From a loyal officer to a fugitive, and finally to the ruler of a colossal empire, Seleucus I Nicator's life is a testament to resilience, strategic genius, and boundless ambition. He wasn't just a successor to Alexander. He was a legend in his own right. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed learning about the incredible life of Seleucus, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about the epic characters who shaped our world. Let me know in the comments which historical figure you'd like to see covered next. See you in the next video.